Whee! Whoa!
Doing, doing. Oh, I thought he. Oh, bear got it.
Huh?
Was there a puddle over there?
Ran into the. No.
What's he doing? Yogi found shade.
Oh.
Yeah, Yogi's under it. Hello. It's raining again. I got Hunter yawning.
Yes. Quality video.
Is that a shell? Oh, wow. For Daddy.
Wow. That's a big shell. Good find, Grayson.
Hey, you're off leash.
Hi, Bear. You can run around. Go where? Where am I going? Hi, Yogi.
You know, oh, you're cold.
No, it's not that cold.
It's not that bad, but it's not great either.
Oh boy.
My feet off.
They got zoomies. What? Oh yeah. Dolphin? Oh yeah. Dolphins. Yeah, there's a pot of dolphins. Well, that's good. That means there's no sharks around. Dolphins do not like sharks. They will go after sharks.
Yeah, I was like, dolphins kill sharks.
Yeah, there's a ton of them.
That, by the way, it's different.
I'm going to find a brand new I call it cycle dog.
Yogi's got the zoomies. Look, they're jumping.
Finally, this is a little.
That's a lot. That's a huge pot.
Don't attack it. Yogi got pushed over. Oh, did you see that? Did you see Yogi?
But yeah, it won't get me. It did get me. Hello, wave. Do you wave back? No. Oh.
There comes Bear again to check on us. He checked on them, now he's got to check on us.
Hello, Val.
Hello, Bear. We're fine. Good boy.
Well, dear Ted.
Just making sure everybody's okay.
He's like the great rescue now. Not going to scare away the waves.
Daddy, look, I said, look.
I know. Tide's coming up. the Wright Flyer, Grayson. You've seen it. You've seen that in other museums. Replica. We saw it at the Henry Ford Museum and other places too. Oh wow. Mm-hmm.
That looks pretty old.
Yeah, from 1903. I'd say that's old. That original propeller? Wow, very cool.
It's from 1903,
Yeah, it's one of two propellers. Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
Huh. Cool.
Keep it in the dark.
See where they go from a 1899 kite to the glider to the 1900, 1901, 1902. They got bigger to hold a human. So they had a kite without a human to test.
Everyone's up there having a butter truck.
Welcome to Wright Brothers National Memorial. Every now and then we just like to kind of show off the airplane a little bit. We have a replica of the original Wright Flyer. That replica. It was built for the 100th anniversary of flight for 2003. And they built two of them. The other one they actually tried to fly it on that day, but they were not successful. So that proves how hard it was to fly this airplane. But we've had the other one in here display. Does anyone want to know where the actual Wright Flyer is right now? The first one? Smithsonian. It's at Smithsonian. So the great thing about this little airplane we have here is that I can actually use it to kind of give an example about how Wright Brothers actually operated the machine. So before I do this, I just want to go over the three principles of flight. The axis of control, which was the key for the Wright brothers having controlled flight. And I understand that. We just use this model. The first thing you have to be able to figure out is going left and right. So there's two ways of doing this. One, you use your rudder to create yaw, which is Y-A-W, that's your left and right, like if you turn your steering wheel of your car. The other thing is, you also have to be able to learn how to roll, which is done by your wings. In modern airplanes today, that is normally done by an aileron, which is a flap in the back. But the Wright brothers didn't use ailerons. They used something called wing warping, which is basically bending the wings, which I'm going to be doing here in a second. The last thing is you have to be able to go up and down. And to control that, that's with your elevator, and that is for pitch, going up and down. Now, just to kind of basically give you a little story here. I'm from the state of Ohio, that's where I grew up at. And now I live in North Carolina, so I've had the opportunity to see both states, and both states have claimed to be the first in flight. Both states are absolutely correct, because they both are vital to everything that happened. But just to make a funny story short, for the 100th anniversary of flight, the state of Ohio wanted to have a special license beautiful license plate. It had an artist draw the Wright flyer on it, and it had a banner flying behind it. It looked really great. And he started giving it out to the public. But they made a mistake. It wasn't caught until after it was already being given out. The mistake was the artist painted the Wright flyer flying backwards. Now, the last laugh is on everybody else because that license plate is probably worth a lot of money right now. But that being said, that's one thing I hope I can get out of this is showing you the direction the plane was going. And the propellers are in the back of the airplane. That's what confused the artist, because we assume the propellers are in the front. The elevator is in the front of the airplane. Now, that elevator has a very weird shape to it. It's very broad, very wide. Any thoughts about why it would be like that? And why would they want to put it in the front of the airplane? Mostly, it has to do with safety. And the Wright brothers were concerned about safety. They didn't care. They didn't want to have a terrible accident and potentially get hurt or killed. So that size, that direction, that shape of that elevator, number one, helps prevent stalls. So that was a pretty easy thing to happen in these flights. Doesn't eliminate from having a stall, but it kind of gave you a little bit of control if you started going down. It's believed that shape probably saved their lives later on a number of times. The other thing is, think about what happens if you're driving a car and you bump into something. What's usually be the first thing that's going to hit in your car? It's the bumper. That actually gives a little bit of protection because of the wreck. That's going to be the first thing that hits the ground. It gives them a little extra protection. So it really was a safety device. Now, what I want to do, I'm going to demonstrate the wing warming. And the one thing I want you to think about as I do this is a bird that many of us have probably seen before. And the Wright brothers love these birds. They're called turkey vultures. They call them buzzards. And when a turkey vulture is flying in the sky, which I hope you take a really good look at next time you see one, it's going to be flying in dihedral, it's going to be teetering in the sky. But honestly, that's not that important. What's important is if you watch them carefully, and you have to look carefully to see this, that turkey vulture is bending its wings to get control in the air. That's wing warming. And that's what the Wright brothers did. By following these birds, they came up with this thought about bending the wings to create a rolling effect in the air. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start moving the wings around. I want you to see what happens with everything that's attached to the airplane. That includes the rudder here in the back. That seat, which is actually not a chair, it's actually a cradle called a hip cradle. And it's all tied to the wings. Now, I want you to know something. This Wright flyer is about $1 million. This replica is $1 million. So I'm just going to tell you half-heartedly, if I do this and something breaks off it, let's keep it quiet. Okay, so what did you see? Did you see how the wings were bending to create that rolling effect? Just like a turkey vulture when we in flight. Did you see how the rudder was attached to the wings with wires, as well as the hip cradle? So when the Wright brothers were operating this machine, they were laying on the wing with their body in that hip cradle. They used their hips to move the wings and the rudder at the same time, and they used their hand on front of that level in the front to control the elevator. So basically, they were using their hips and one of their hands to control the machine. Now, this rudder being connected to the wings was a big deal, because the Wright brothers at first did not have a movable rudder. They were using it to balance the machine. It didn't move at all. And they weren't having success. But when they changed the rudder and had it move in conjunction with the wings, now keep in mind, modern airplanes today, the rudder's separately controlled. In this case, that's not the case. But even connected to the wings, once the Wright brothers had that happening, that's when they started having success with control. So, last thing I want to point at, before I move on, where's the wheels at? Any thoughts about where the wheels at? You see any wheels down there? There's no wheels? Wow, where did they take off? You have to look at the environment you're in. It doesn't look like that now, but at one point, this was all sand. There was no trees, there was no grass here. It was just sand. And you really can't use wheels to take off in the sand. So the Wright brothers came up with a plan. Being bicycle men, they built a 60-foot rail with 3 bicycle hubs on that rail. A dolly sitting on the bicycle hubs and the Wright flyer sat in the dolly. Now you know a rail is very skinny. In fact, that's what the term rail means, skinny. And therefore, the planes are off balance when it's on that rail. So one of the brothers is going to be holding on to the wing before takeoff while the other tries to fly the machine. But that's why there's no wheels down there. So I want you to picture yourself right now. Try to picture yourself being here in 1903. Picture yourself as one of the Wright brothers, or even Catherine Wright if you'd like to do that. And let's see if you'd like to fly the airplane. What would that be like? Do you think you'd want to do that? Do you think it'd be scary? Do you think it'd be fun? Do you think it'd be exhilarating? Whatever the case, this is what changed much of our world today. And that's why we're here. So we are going to have a longer program, a 30-minute program starting in a little bit under an hour at 11 o'clock, which is start right here at the back patio steps. You're welcome to join that. But whatever the case, thank you for your time. Enjoy your time here at Wright Brothers. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you very much.
They stayed when they did their stuff.
Those look like some real apples.
4 flights. 12 seconds, 120 feet. 12 seconds, 175 feet. 15 seconds, 200 feet. And the fourth one was 59 seconds, 852 feet.
They were 1 second away from making it to a minute.
Oh, yeah. That's a pretty long flight down there to that tree line, where the tree line is.
It's long.
Yeah. Yeah, you can.
Basically a
Kite.
paper plane with some wood.
I think they said they were nervous and excited and scared all in one.
Did the fools try, like, did they upgrade the plane when...
I don't know. They may have made little tweaks.
If they didn't make tweaks, that's a big difference.
Europeans were testing, trying to fly it too, but the Wright brothers, I think, they patented it, and I think they beat them barely.
Yeah, we win.
So the flights were made from right here, and they went down that way. First flight, second flight, third flight, and the fourth one way down there, 800 feet. But they took off from this rail right here. Yeah, there's the launch rail and the dolly, how they did it, since they had no wheels. That's pretty cool. It's a neat little area. That's where that walkway comes out.
comes directly from her wealth in the New World. That, Your Majesty, is why you must have colonies of your own.
I must? You overstep yourself. I will deal with matters of state. You concern yourself with your little colony, for the which you shall not have my support, unless your plan benefits my subjects.
Young men seeking their fortune, the poor who flock to London in search of food and work. In the New World they shall have land, and a fresh start. Trade will flourish. England's wealth will increase.
And the savages? I'll tolerate none of that cruelty you proved so skilled at meting out in Ireland. These natives must share in the blessings of English sovereignty under God.
Of course. Of course.
I foresee a time when England will take her rightful place as foremost among nations. This colony must firmly establish the light of English law and virtue in the New World, and for the entire world to see.
A future of endless possibilities. 500 acres for each colonist. Land of great bounty and marvelous beauty. Your hard work would be instantly rewarded. The skills of a good carpenter will be highly valued in our colony.
Oh, that seems promising. But will our child be safe? What of the savages?
Verily, we have had some unfortunate encounters with the natives at Roanoke, but we intend to settle farther north at the Bay of Chesapeake, where the natives are peaceful and are welcoming us.
I just cannot believe it will be so perfect as you say.
I would not speak with such passion were not I and my daughter to join the voyage. Here, young man, something for you. The native corn from the New World.
For me?
Such wonders!
The Lost Colony, it's a group of English settlers who are trying to establish the first permanent English settlement in North America, going back 430 years. This settlement was 20 years before the establishment of Jamestown. It was 33 years before the establishment of Plymouth Plantation. But here's the difference between the colonies. The one here was not successful, as you may be able to guess from the name of it. It's on these shores that in 1587, the Lost Colony would have been dropped off. Their governor was named John White. They ended up repurposing the houses that had been left behind by that first military colony 2 years before. Their governor only spends a short time with them. He stays just a few weeks, and it's decided that it's best to send somebody home for more supplies and more people. Their governor leaves them in August 1587, and he's hopeful to return 6 months later. But unfortunately, when he returns to England, other events have taken place and war was broken out with Spain. What it means is that John White is trapped. He's stuck in England for 3 full years before he can finally return to his colony. The year is 1590. He comes back to Roanoke. They get to where the settlement had been. He finds a couple of clues. He finds the CRO tree, and this may be familiar to you. It's basically just 3 letters carved in a tree close to the shoreline. He thinks that this is a clue of where his settlers had gone. He walks up to where their settlement was, and he says it's been enclosed by a great palisade of wooden trees. On the gatepost of that was carved Croatoan. Also, he thought, another clue of where his colony had gone. Inside, the houses were gone. He says they've been taken down, perhaps removed and brought to rebuild somewhere else. We don't know. The governor only spends a short time on Roanoke and is quickly forced away from the island due to bad weather, and unfortunately is forced back home. And that's basically where the story ends and where the mystery begins of what happened to this group.
What are you doing, coloring?
Yeah, I made this pineapple.
Oh, cool. Yeah, nice job.
That guy didn't look his job right there.
Yeah?
That was
Oh, yeah.
orange and yellow.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. They just disappeared. Theory, maybe a hurricane, maybe disease. Unlikely, though. Theory that they starved. Could have been a drought. Theory that they were killed by Indians. Yeah, the lack of bodies means they probably weren't. Or the Spanish killed them. But the Spanish records show they didn't find them. Or the theory is that they went to Croatan because they found CRO carved on a tree. So that could be today's Hatteras Island. That's where we're at. There was a small village there that could have supported the entire colony. Okay, when White found the carved notation, CRO, he tried to sail to Croatan about 40 miles south, but was foiled by a storm and had to return to England. But there is some evidence, did you see that on Hatteras Island there was a small village that 100 years later, some of the Indians had gray eyes, suggesting possible assimilation. Well, that's possible. Don't know why they left though. There's a CRO they carved on a tree. Oh, now Mommy's coloring too.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can do it as well, because there's little giant white spots. Mommy has no tiny white spots.
So they had all the theories over there of what could have happened. Croatoan is the island on Hatteras where we're at, where the RV is, and they suspect that they may have gone there. And the evidence for that is that 100 years later, some of the natives had gray eyes, which is not natural for the American Indians. So some of them probably made it and then bred with them. Would be my guess. CRO on the tree would stand for Croatoan, telling them where they went. Possibly. Let's say that's the most likely. But why they weren't there later, I don't know. Way bigger waves today.
Yeah.
Look at that wave.
There goes that down.
Look, that wave just tossed him. That's crazy that hurricane hundreds of miles away.
Throwing up waves like this?
Yeah.
Run, Grayson!
And they are totally submerged.
And there goes Grace's thing.
Grayson, back up! Hunter, it's coming. It's coming. It's gonna get you. It's gonna get you. Touchdown. Oh, jeez. Right by that one. Another big wave. Oh, that's gonna get you. Get your can.
Prepare.
Shape of a on her forehead.
Oh, he's catching it. He's catching it. Oh, nice. Nice. And down. That was cool. Yep.
Crazy video coming in tonight from the Outer Banks. As you see here, video of a house being swallowed up by the swells from Hurricane Ernesto. Look at that. It happened earlier today on Cape Hatteras National Seashore Beach in Rodanthe. Luckily, no one was inside at the time, but a number of other homes are at risk of collapse over the next few days.
Yeah.
Getting good one. Yep.
Oh yeah. See him there. He got washed.
I can see that one coming.
Washed in.
Good. Body surgery.
Yeah. Incoming.
Golly. Oh, barely missed it.
Coming up to us. Oh boy. I'm glad I changed shoes. Woo! Incoming. Woo! All the way up. Reached all the way to the base of the, yeah, half of the berm. Woo! Woo! Incoming. Sure did. They are not.
Grayson, watch out.
Grayson got Hunter good. Woo! Yep. Yep. We got Hunter good.
Why don't you back up?
Because he's having fun.